Bobbbaaaay, and we back. Welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast. We got the owner of 5 Star Vintage in the house. He also lives 3 feet away from my room where we're recording this podcast right now. Steve Rush on the show.
How's it going, man?
How
It's
you
good to be
doing?
here.
Good to be here?
Yep, it's good to go 4 steps away and be in the room
Oh, man. It's time to start cooking up with the boy.
with the boy.
Steve, who are you today? How young are you?
Dude, here we go. Let's dig in. Well, 23 years old.
23 years young.
23 years young. Fighting a cold. Feeling better. Who am I today? Dude, I don't know. That's a hard question.
It's a
for
loaded
me.
question.
Let's see who I'm not. Let's go there.
Okay.
I am not a murderer. I don't sell drugs, which is nothing wrong with it, but if we got to do it. I'm a good person.
You're a good person.
I donate blood. Not really, but I donate stuff.
Yep.
Pay my bills.
Mm-hmm. It's always good.
My credit score is fucking immaculate.
Through the roof?
Through the roof, dude. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's me. No, really? I'm on time, though. I'm on time. You know it. I said this before. I'm on time.
I think that's like one of the most important traits anybody can have is time.
You just got to be on time.
Yeah.
If you're on time, everything else follows.
Yeah. Signing deals.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you're
Dude,
doing.
if you're on time, I can't tell you how just being on time has just been like so helpful. Like as far as like basketball, just being on time. Just if you're playing basketball, you got to be on time to practice. School, it's helped me, even though I didn't really like school. Work, shipping packages, whatever it is. Being on time is like the biggest deal.
Yeah. That's like to me one of my best traits is my time management. Like I can wake up in a day and tell you. Yeah. I mean, you probably already
you're
seen
definitely
it.
good at it. I'll give you credit.
Yeah, I mean, living with you for the past month, you probably seen it, but I can literally map out my day within 5 minutes of where I'm going to be, and it doesn't matter to me what I need to do. It's just where am I going to be at this time, and when am I going to execute, and when is that actually going to get done?
No, yeah, definitely. I was watching some yesterday, and they were saying, or it was a movie. She was saying, I can't date time nerds. Because he was like, yeah, it's 12 o'clock. I got to be home at like 1 o'clock. And she was like, no, I can't date you because you're a time nerd.
Can't do it.
So
that's just how I am.
That's just how I am too. That's how I remember if I was going to basketball practice and let's say practice at 5, so we're 30 minutes away from practice. If I wasn't in that car at 4, my dad was going to have it. Yeah. So it was like, you better be in the car ready with your gear on, with your shoes on. This isn't like you're getting in the car and you like have your underwear on.
No.
You know, like you better be dressed with your shoes tied in the car at 4.
So he kind of like laid it into you.
I was like, why are you like pressing me over? Like it takes 20 minutes to get there and we're going to end up sitting in traffic. He's like, no, we got to get in front of the traffic. And you got to get ready in the car. Like it was like, wow. It was like, it's a military stuff. My dad was not in the military, but it was like military.
He was on you about it like that. You grew up in Palmdale. No
S.
I butchered that. Talk to me about growing up in Palmdale.
Palmdale is how do I describe it? It's a suburban desert. It's actually huge if you look at it as far as like I was comparing it to like East Coast, like because Boston has like 1 million people, right?
I think it's less. I think it's like 600. I think it's like 600.
Like the actual. Okay, well,
I could be completely wrong though.
Palmdale and Lancaster are the 2 neighboring cities. They like overlap. It's like they're the same shit, but they're different cities. Mm-hmm. They have almost, I think it's just about 500,000 people there, just between the 2 suburbs. And then you have Quartz Hill, Little Rock, and that's over 500,000 people. So it's huge in the spectrum of like Kansas and little ass states. It's fucking massive, but. To California, it's like
it's nothing.
It's like
on the map. It's just this.
It's like go find something to do. Like there's nothing to do out there. So Palmdale, I grew up on the east side of Palmdale. So there's 2 sides of Palmdale. There's the west side and then there's the east side. East side is like a little bit more like kind of grungy, kind of a little more like I don't want to say it's just a little more hood, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like it's a little more character. West side is more like, especially now. When I grew up, west side was like whatever, but west side now is like predominantly a little bit more safer, less crime. East side, even East Lancaster is the same way. So I grew up on the east side of Palmdale, not like in like the hub of everything. I was a little bit in the hills a little bit. Grew up in a cul-de-sac. I always feel like cul-de-sac kids are different than like kids who have like a through street, because you don't get a lot of traffic.
No.
So like you could play out. We used to play in the street, like legit.
I never even thought about that, because nobody's coming down there.
No one's coming down
unless they actually live there.
Yeah, and
so you have this own little own like corner block.
Exactly. We used to do like just crazy. And I live right at the cul-de-sac, right where it ends. My dad had a big garage right there. So like we own that whole section right there. We own from the house to the big garage, and then we owned all the land around the cul-de-sac. So it was like our land, so we could do whatever we wanted, and then we had neighbors, across the street. So, growing up in that, you're like, less crime already, because people aren't going in there. It's up a hill a little bit. People aren't going in there. So it was a good work. So I had a good childhood as far as like not worrying about that. And my neighbors were all cool. A lot of kids were older than me, because I had a friend, Dustin, who lived across the street. Me and him were the same age. We grew up together. And then we had a lot of like, there were like kids that were like 7, 8 years older than us. And I was like, 7, 8, maybe 6 at the time. And they're, almost 10, 12. So they're like approaching teenage years, but they were like hang out with us just because like there was nothing else to do. We like played
kids on the block.
Yeah. And we had there was a kid next door who was just he was a little bit weird, but he was like,
there's always got to be that.
Dude,
that
there's
one,
always. And he was like 15. He was a lot older, but he didn't act it.
Okay.
But so like that was like the neighborhood. It was just very like quiet. People owned horses actually in our neighborhood. Like Palmdale isn't notorious for horses. Like when you go to Acton, which is the city before Palmdale, it's like, so you're driving on the 14, right? That's the 4. You go Santa Clarita, Agua Dulce, and then you go Acton. And then Acton's like, am I in Texas? Where the hell am I at?
That big of a...
No, it's like, it's little.
No, but I mean a jump wide.
Oh yeah, you're just like, people have people. Because I went to school in Acton, so people used to like show up on horses. Like, oh yeah, just me and my son Bobby's showing up to. I didn't mean to use your name, but
I don't know how I would feel about that.
We're just going to school on a horse. Me and our kids. It's like, well, where the hell am I at? So back to where I grew up. So, Palmdale. That's basically Palmdale. It's a suburban desert. It's hot as hell. It gets pretty cold in the winter. Like it gets like 20 degrees, and it's really windy. That's the thing about Palmdale. It's really windy. It's notorious for like how windy. I don't know why it gets so windy.
And how far is that outside of LA? Just for
45
north.
miles. It's like northeast. It's technically like if we would like cut a line from Pasadena and just went east, it's right there. Okay. Like, but we have to do all this fuck shit and go around.
You gotta go up and around.
It's just like, can we just build a tunnel and just be there? So that's Palmdale. That's where I grew up, and Palmdale now, especially when I grew up, it was kind of whatever. Now it's like a big sports, like everybody, because there's not a lot to do there. It's this huge community. You have all these people, like I said, more than 500,000 people, and there's nothing to do. I mean, you got a mall, but it's like, all right, I only could go to the mall one time a month, and I'm just like, I had enough. And then. So yeah, it's just like a big sports town now. Everybody plays sports. All the kids play sports. It's soccer, basketball, whatever it is. Football. Football's huge. There's a huge rivalry out there. So it's starting to become like a hub. Like I think in the last 5 years, there's been like 7 NFL players now, which is awesome.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're putting it on the map.
I mean, we had 2 people just in my school that went to the NFL. So it's starting to become like a good hub for sports. People are starting to recognize, because what happened was when I was going there, it was starting to become like, oh, okay, we'll go over the hill to watch you. But before that, it was like, we're not going past the 5 to go watch you. If you're good, we might.
Okay.
We might. But if you're really good, you got to come to us, and we're, you know what I mean? So it was like, but now people are starting to be like, okay, we'll go over there and watch you, because there's a lot of talent there.
Talent.
You got so many people there now, you have to recognize it. But it wasn't like that when I was growing up. It was a little bit, it was like, on the upswing. It was kind of like, okay.
There's something to it.
There's something, but it's not there yet. Now I'd say it's way more than it was, even though it's only, I've only been out of high school
4 years,
5 years. 5 years.
You're 2012. Yeah, same with me. What were some of the biggest lessons you learned then growing up in that area?
Okay, so hold on. It splits here for a second. So I grew up in East Palmdale. Mm-hmm. My parents got divorced. Okay.
How old were you?
Like, I think I was like 8. I was really young, 7 or 8. I want to say, okay,
it's gotta be a tricky age to go through that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you don't know what's going on. I think, okay, so September 11th, was 2001. It was like 2002 or 2003 because they were together when September 11th happened. That's how I like base everything.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what was it before or after September? Because I remember that day really vivid.
I think everybody does. I
well, yeah,
distinctively
people who are
remember.
our age, yeah, definitely remember that. So I think it was like 2002, 2003. So I was like third grade. So whatever that is, 9. So yeah, they split. My mom goes to Acton. That's where Acton comes into play. Because my mom wanted me to go to the better school out there. And technically it was a better school, but it was like less diversity. It was just like, so it's, pick your poison. So I go to Acton now. So now I'm split. I spend, 3 days here, 3 days there, whatever it is. It wasn't, they didn't like go to court and like, you're here on weekends.
It was a good.
Me and my mom and my dad were just like, yeah, we're just going to split it up. And because I play basketball, you couldn't be like, I'm keeping him for 5 days. Well, my mom works 5 days. So it's just like, how can that work? So third grade, I go to Acton, which is 12 miles from my dad's house. It's not that far. Totally different environment. We're talking, I went from a school that had, 50% white kids, 40%, Hispanic, and, 10% black. It was just like, it was a melting pot there. I was like, it was cool to me.
It's good to
it's
grow
good.
up in that because you're seeing
we had people
cultures.
speaking Spanish in class.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know what that is. I thought it was so cool, but my mom was like, no, we need to get you somewhere where like, because this is the real reason. The classrooms had like 55 kids. And my mom was like, nope, that's not going to happen. So Acton had less. But the only way to get in Acton is if you lived in Acton.
And she already lived there.
And my mom.
Or she moved there.
Yeah, she
right
moved
after the
there,
split. Okay.
built a house, and then I went there. So I went from, this huge diverse school for my first 3 years of school, kindergarten, first, second, and I went for like 3 weeks in third grade, and then I went to third grade in Acton. So does that make sense? So now I'm in Acton, and I'm, starting a new life. It's like I just moved over. Like, it's so different how Palmdale and Acton is, because it's like not even like, I don't know how to describe it to people. Like, Acton had, I think it was like 90% white kids. And it was like people riding on horses. I was like, what's going on here?
For just 12 miles? Like, that's that's a huge.
It's huge. It's like,
you get in your car for 20 minutes and then it's like the world changes.
Yeah, 15, like 10 minutes you're there. You're just like, what is going on here? So that was a huge shock because as far as culturally, I mean, I grew up, I was playing basketball my whole life, and that's a huge diverse community. And then I go to a school that has a huge diverse community. And then I go to this school and it's just like, it's not even remotely the same as where I was before. So, and then my parents are divorced. So now I'm like,
your mind's got to be going crazy.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine that at 8, 9, 10 years old, because I think it's one thing if somebody's parents get divorced, 15, 16, you're
a little bit more ready for it.
Yeah, you're ready for it. You're kind of figuring out what you need to do and you understand, but at that age, it's this whole confusion of why. Like,
exactly.
Why are you
why am I in this position? I didn't really get it. So now it's the combo. It's the divorce. It's the new community. So I couldn't even tell you what I felt like. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. But I just remember just being like confused. New friends, because now you're starting a whole new third grade. And I remember my third grade. This is the weirdest shit. I don't know if they do this still. I hope they don't. I had third grade. I had 2 teachers, right? Third grade. One would come in Monday through Wednesday. The other one would come in Thursday through Friday. And then the next week, the first teacher would go Monday to Tuesday, and then the second teacher would go Wednesday to Friday. And they would switch off every week. I hated the first teacher so much. I just started school. I'm like,
why did they even do that?
Dude, I don't know. To this day, I'm like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I've never heard of that.
Never.
Ever.
I had
the same second grade teacher, and that was Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday.
Every other human in the world, I think, has had that. Except for me. And I walk in, and this girl is a bitch. She is like yelling at kids. I'm like, where the hell am I at? And then Wednesday comes, and it's the other teacher, and I'm like, oh, she's cool. Like, I'm
happy. I like this.
Yeah, I was like, this is
her.
cool. And then Monday comes again, and then she's there Wednesday, and I'm just like, this isn't gonna work. And also that school started late, so it started September, and I didn't get out till June. So technically, I went from August to June because my other school started in August. So I did like an extra month of school.
And you hated it.
I was just like, dude, I'm over this. I'm over this. And I remember like, I don't know what your original question was. I don't even
lessons learned.
Oh, like lessons learned. I would just be nice to that because I realized that like I wasn't like a troublemaker. I wasn't like getting thrown out.
Not yet at this
point.
No,
like third grade, I was new. I was like, and I remember like third grade, like second week, I threw up in my lunch pail. I vomited in my lunch pail. And people were like,
what is
who is this? Where'd you get this weirdo?
The new kid on the block.
And I did it twice. I did it. So we're standing in line about to go into class, and I just threw up in my lunchbox again about like 3 weeks later. And people were just like, all right, so he's the vomit kid. Let's stay away from him. I remember kids used to, damn, that's a weird memory. I remember we were standing in line and like waiting to go into our classroom because you have to like do like roll call, like stand alphabetical or whatever. And I remember the kid who sat in front of me or stood in front of me was like, "You're not going to do it again today, are you?" And he would like, so you're supposed to stand in line. He would like move left. Like, I'm not doing it.
Get out of the way.
It's hilarious now that I think about it. But at the time I was like, dude, like this is terrible. I'm not about to make it here. But I made friends and whatever, but lessons learned. I don't know if there's a lot of lessons to be learned besides just adapt, because that's all I could do. What can I do? My parents are divorced. I'm at a new school. I mean, it could be worse. You know what I mean? Like I could be homeless and shit, but that's why I've always learned, like, adapt, because I have to. Okay, you get thrown in the pen. All right, I'm throwing up on myself. What are you going to do? You're just going to be like, oh, I'm the throw-up kid. I'm just not going to do that. Like, no. I'm not going to be the throw-up kid. So I don't know why I was throwing up, to be honest. But that's really weird that I threw up twice in my lunchbox. And my mom had to replace the lunchbox. And she's like, don't fucking do that again.
Don't do it again. Maybe it was the lunchbox. We need to get you a new one.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was just nervous.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was my parents that was like doing it. Like new life. I don't know. I was just thinking that. But yeah, just adapt. That's what I would say. Is adapting to my environment, because I got thrown in the pen of new everything, and my only choice was to adapt to my environment. Okay, make new friends, don't be the throw up kid, and also I was playing basketball too, so that was I was starting to be serious about it, about playing travel ball, and that's a whole nother.
That's got to be another huge.
That's a whole nother venture.
How old are you when you started realizing?
So it was
like
kind
of serious.
I think it was like fourth grade. I was like, all right. Probably gonna do this for real. So I think I started playing second grade, and it was just like park and rec, whatever.
Yeah, but by fifth, sixth grade, they started getting you more into like
fifth and sixth grade was definitely serious. Sixth grade.
Is that when they started recruiting you for like AAU or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You could start playing AAU at like fucking like 6 now.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. You could really start playing AAU really early, which is crazy to me because it's like my little brother's playing like travel ball soccer, and he's like 10, and I'm just like, how the hell?
How are you doing this?
Yeah. So I don't know how I did that.
Did that kind of keep your mind off of what was,
basketball?
I feel like having basketball must have been a good outlet with dealing with the divorce, and then with also being in a completely new city.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had basketball, and then I was into other dumb shit like dirt biking, and I had like weird hot like biking. Like I was always doing something. When I got home, it was like I wasn't just playing basketball. I was like, I'm gonna go out and ride my bike, because my neighbors were cool. They were a lot older than me too. It was always weird. I always had really old neighbors. He was like 8th grade, maybe.
That's a huge. That was 3 or 4 years.
He was like 7th, 8th grade
gap when you're that young.
He was crazy as hell, actually.
Yeah,
that dude is crazy. He was dope to me. Like he was cool. Like we would go like dirt bike riding or whatever, and like I remember I was riding, or we were bicycle riding, and I'm on his pegs. I'm riding on his pegs. I have my arm on his shoulder. And we're riding. We're going fast as hell down this hill. We hit a jump. I fly off. I hit my knee. I still have the scar, and my knee bust open. And it's just like this scratch. It just looked like someone like dug like their fingernails in there. It was just like a weird. It wasn't like bad. It was just bleeding a lot. And he starts freaking out. He's like, oh my god. So he like rushes into his house. He puts like this like new skin or whatever it's called. It's like it basically like closes your. It's like
wound up.
Yeah, it's like stitches without like stitches.
Actually having to do it.
And it cured it. And I was like, oh, you're pretty cool for that. Because like I think everybody else would just been like, oh, you got to go home.
They would have dipped.
Yeah, just go home. So I thought he was cool for that. That's a random ass story. I don't know why I brought that up, but so yeah, that's what I would do. I would do basketball, whatever it is, whatever activity was intriguing me. I was into like paintball. I was into so many different dumb things. I was just like, well, it's cool, so I'm gonna play it. So I think just being distracted as far as like basketball, whatever else I was into, bike riding, dirt bike riding, paintball, because you gotta think it's a lot of open land out there.
See, that's a different environment growing up out there than it was.
Yeah, like
something like in Western Massachusetts or in a city, because you're not gonna just go paintballing. You're not just gonna go BMX riding when you're in the middle of a city. You have to like get out of the city to even do that. So growing up in the middle of a desert, I would imagine. Yeah, obviously, there's so much different things going on, and
definitely.
Obviously, being at the end of a cul-de-sac.
That's fire. At my mom's house in Acton, I wasn't. It was like a dirt road, but it was like, who the hell's on this dirt road? So it was like quiet.
Nobody's driving through.
Exactly.
Do you think you'd change anything about growing up? Like, if you could go back, is there anything you would have done differently? Something that was in your control, obviously a decision
I don't like that teacher.
Yeah,
I really don't like it. And she had a kid. He was in that same class. I hated him too.
How did they even allow that?
Oh my God, this kid is just the worst.
Not a fan.
His name was like Troy or something. I was just like, all right, I'm over that.
That's one of those names where it's just kind of questionable.
It's like Troy. And he's
either a really nice kid or he's just...
I remember his last name. I don't know if I want to say it.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, that's crazy how the memory just
it comes back.
Yeah, Troy. He was just like, he was the same way as his mom. But I would change... Actually, I wouldn't even change that because it's kind of funny. But to have two different teachers, who the hell has that?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I still don't understand why that's
so weird. Even now that I think about it, it's like, why would you have that?
No.
But to change anything? Nah, I wouldn't change. Maybe the weather. I wish the weather was better.
I wish I could sunny weather all the time.
Dude, it's hot out there. I don't know about you. It's 100 degrees every day.
Yeah.
So you love that shit.
I like the heat. I don't know. Maybe I would have a different outlook on it if I had grown up in it. Maybe I'd be like, yo, give me the winter, give me the cold.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that. I thought this is the only weather that ever existed. I was like, it's just hot out today, and there's everywhere else is hot. There's no such thing as Hawaii.
No,
I didn't know that because I didn't have an app on my phone that would tell me Hawaii's 70 degrees. Yeah, because you're like fucking 8. Yeah, you're like, I don't know.
Well, now they know. With
now my little brother's like, oh, it's 70 degrees in Hawaii now. It's like, oh, thanks. Now it's good to know that.
God, just growing up with a cell phone like that at that age, that's gotta.
I wouldn't want it.
No.
I wouldn't want it. I remember I had a cell phone. It was like a little flip phone, and that was enough.
No.
It was like, 800 minutes. That's all you need.
That's all you needed.
You get like 2 minutes deducted every time you text someone.
Yeah. You eventually went to Regis College.
Yeah. Fast forward.
Why Regis College?
Well, they gave me, so I was getting recruited. I had a couple schools. It was like a school in Portland, and I went up there. They flew me out there. I was like, oh, that's dope. They flew me out there. And I was like, it's kind of, it wasn't Portland. It was in Portland, but it was like, all right, you got to go 20 fucking miles down the road. Yeah. And it was like middle of nowhere. I was like, all right. The school kind of was like, there was one guy on the team who was just a killer. So I was like, okay, I could probably grow here, And it was like I think it was like Regis, how it was a lot more women. Like it used to be an all-girls school. I think it was like that, and then they made it co-ed. So that was cool to me. And then I had another school in like Minneapolis that was like D2 or whatever. And I was like, they were like whatever about me. They were like, yeah, if you want to come, we'll give you a scholarship. And I was like, all right, but I don't really want to go to Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm all set with that.
And then there was one more in Wisconsin. And then I was like, that school was a powerhouse. It was like, we win like the first day I called the coach, he's like, we win titles here. So like, be on board or don't be on board. And I'm like, I'm on board, but let's see what's going on in Boston first. So they flew me out there too.
Regis did?
Yeah, they flew me out there. I was like, that's fire, because that's a $500 ticket round trip. I don't know if because my dad went, but I think he bought his own ticket. I'm not sure. They might have paid for his. Not 100% on that. I'm probably gonna go to jail for saying this because it's probably like illegal and NCAA rules or something. They're gonna get a call like, "Yo, did you fly out this dude?" Did
you guys fly out Steve back in 2013?
So I flew out there, and then I was like, "Yeah, like I'm a Celtic fan. Grew up in LA, a Celtic fan. My dad's a Celtic fan." I'm like, "Yo, I'm in Boston territory."
Love it.
And the coach is on me. He's like, "Yeah, we need a guy like you that could shoot, that could do everything else." And I was like, "Well, I'm the guy." So, it was between Portland and the others in Boston. I was like, well, I kind of let's see what the East Coast is about. Because going to Portland's like, it's an hour
north.
flight.
You're just going north.
Hour and a half flight. It's nothing. Yeah. So let's go to Boston. Let's see I'm a Celtic fan. It's all lining up. And I liked the coach. And so, so I go to Regis. That's why I picked it, really, because I felt comfortable there. I was like, okay, I'm near Boston. And that was another thing, because I was starting to do my business. And I was like, in Portland, there's like 1, 2 thrift stores where I was at.
Oh, so you like went in, looked, and researched.
And I was like, dang, this isn't going to work. And I was like, Boston has to have a lot because it's a huge city compared to Portland.
Especially being the East Coast, there's a lot of that vintage wear instilled into it.
Huge coats. Yeah. Like that one thrift shop in West Roxbury. Dude.
Gold mine.
Oh, my God. I still have like dreams about it. I still have I'll have like flashbacks like, damn, damn, that place was good.
That was the place.
Every time I went there, I found something crazy. I was like, it's the come up. Like ask Dylan, like, or whoever went with me. I don't even know.
I went with you guys one time, but I think it was to a thrift store in Cambridge.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
went to the Goodwill that had the downstairs basement.
Yeah,
that has some good stuff every now and then. But that was part of my reason too. Was like I want to be in a city where like there's stuff going on. Where I'm not like in Portland, where it's like, oh, we grow food and like there's no places to buy my clothes.
Yeah.
So it's like Boston had everything. It just had like the coach, the school. It had places to grow my business. And it just fit. And I felt it was cool. Like when a coach flies you out, that's like,
it's a commitment.
Yeah. That's like, yo, we want you to play here. So that was the main reason. I was like, all right, everything's lining up. That's the main reason. Let's go to Boston.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, my mom was on the verge because my mom got remarried and they were on the verge of like, yo, we want to get the hell out of California. We want to go overseas or something. And I was like, well, let's go to Boston. She was like, okay, well, we'll move out there. But, you know, she started hitting the rails a little bit like second semester.
So you just
yeah
started hitting these rails for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay, because so yeah, I go to Regis. I don't know if you want me to tell the whole story.
You can briefly touch it. You don't have to get into too depth.
I go to Regis. Everything's cool to start, you know, and then they, you know, there's like 8 more shooters on the team. I'm like, dang, I thought I was gonna be like the main one here. He has like 8 other shooters that he brought in from, you know, Boston, wherever else, Florida. Not 8, it's like 4, right? But that's a lot for a basketball team to bring in 4 shooters, all freshmen. And I was thinking like, dang, I was thinking like, man, I'm about to go in there and I'm about to start. I don't start. I don't even play. We're all sitting. All the shooters they brought in are all sitting, except for like one dude who's killing, which is just like, and we had a lot of injuries too. So I go in there, I'm not playing a lot, and I wasn't really feeling Boston. I was just like, man, this shit is weird. It's fucking cold as hell. I'm kind of over it, and I was kind of over basketball, and I was over school. I was just over school. I was just like, I don't want to do this shit. And, you know, they're paying for my school, so it's like I kind of have an obligation to finish.
Full ride.
I mean, I don't know if they technically can give you a full ride at the D3, but I remember like I wasn't paying that much. You know, it was like pennies on the
actual.
Yeah. So it was definitely like a blessing for them to be paying that, and I appreciated it. But I was just like, and I had a meeting with the coach. I was like, man, it's like November. You know, I'm just not feeling it right now. You know, I'm not playing, and I don't feel like there's justification why I'm not playing. And you got, you know, people who are injured, I'm still not playing, and then, you know, it probably was my fault. I probably wasn't playing well, but I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I'm homesick. I don't know anybody here. And then so I took a week off, and he was like, take a week off, come back, tell me how you feel. I took a week off, and I was like, let's fucking do it, because I'm here. Like I have to finish this out for myself. I have to. I can't just be like, all right,
I'm out.
2 months, see ya, had enough. Like, it's not me. I can't do that. And then my dad was like, well, you could transfer schools. Actually, you know what? There's another school in New Hampshire that wanted me to play. And the coach is really cool. It's just the school was just tiny, and it was in the middle of nowhere. It's New Hampshire. And we were like, should I just transfer schools? And I was on the phone with him, like, we'll go over there right now. And then, so I ended up just sticking it out. I was like, all right, I owe this to myself to stick it out here for me personally, because it's just like, you're just going to give up. That's who you are. Like, I didn't give up the whole time I was playing basketball. I just kept doing it. Now I want to give up once I'm already here. So it's kind of like, for me personally, I was like, I would regret this if I just said, all right, see ya.
You committed to it, so follow through with
I got to do it. I have to do it. Even if I don't play, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a cheerleader then. If you guys aren't going to fucking play me, guess what? I'm off the bench. I'm yelling. I have to. There's no other. I'm not about to just sit there and just like, yeah, like, good game, dude. Like, I'm not about to do that. And the coach was like honest too. He was like, you guys are either going to cheer, like, you guys are going to be cheering or you're gone. And I was like, all right, let's cheer it up then. Let's get it on. Because I'm not about to just dip. And like, I wouldn't say that, I mean, it was actually like a learning experience, because like my whole life I was a starter. Whole life starting every game, right? You know, occasionally come off the bench. Start. Now I don't play. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a different thing I got to learn. So it's like, all right, I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to be the best I can be at practice. So when he calls on me, I'm ready. And also, if I'm not going hard at practice, no one else gets better. So at practice, I'm going crazy hard. And it's a new skill to learn, like, to cheer, like, to be, like, all for your team, which is weird. Like, to be, like, all out, like,
going ham.
Just going crazy.
You're used to being on the court.
Yeah, you're used to being on the court and yelling at your teammates, like, yo, like, get over here. Like, but now you're on the court. Now you're the third coach, the second coach. So that was something else I had to learn. Was like, okay, you're not gonna play. I'm just gonna enjoy it as much as I can enjoy it. Like the bus rides, I'm joking around, whatever it can be, just to make it fun for me.
Enjoy the journey of it.
Exactly. So that's what I would take from it. Was I don't even know what your question was, dude. I told you it's gonna go off the rails.
That's fine. I love it. So you ended up spending, it was a year then at Regis.
Yeah.
And then you dropped out.
Yep.
And that was because along the way you were getting 5-star.
I was doing my business out of my dorm room.
So what inspired 5-star in the first place?
I didn't have money. Well, you know what it was? It was high school. I was selling shoes, like Jordans. I was just flip them out of my locker room or out of my locker. And
like when a new Jordan would drop, you'd buy them.
I'd buy them, and then I'd do deals with people like, oh, I'll give you fucking $400 for the 2 or whatever it is. I was just flipping J's. That was the only way I could get money. And my parents would give me like $10 for lunch, but it's like, all right, I can't live off of this. I gotta have money to just buy clothes, just because I was into clothes. So I would start flipping J's. That's what started. I would flip J's, anything I could flip, T-shirts, Supreme shirts, Babe shirts, whatever it was. So this is like 10th, 9th grade. I was doing that. 11th grade, I was kind of fading off of it because people were starting to get killed for Jordans. I'm like, all right,
I'm out.
See ya. Like, I'm not doing that. You guys that's too much. I'm fucking 13, 14, 15, not doing that. So, so the J's started. I stopped doing that, and then like 11th grade, and then beginning of 12th grade, I didn't really have income, like money, and I was starting to drive, and I had gas. My mom would give me a credit card, like, yo, just swipe
for gas.
But it wasn't like go to Macy's and buy polo for your friends. It wasn't like that. It was like for gas,
and that's it.
And like if you want some food on the way home, because I live far. I live 15 miles from my high school, so I was driving a lot back and forth. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, I gotta get some money. So I started selling stuff on eBay. I would go to thrift stores, just whatever it is, Johnny Cupcake shirts. I remember I bought like 10 Johnny Cupcake shirts off of my friend at school, and he was like, why the hell do you want these? And I was like, I'll buy them off you $200. I ended up selling them for like $700 altogether, because they were Johnny Cupcakes was flipping.
At one point, those were the clothes.
They were like flipping. I was like, what the hell? And he had some exclusive ones, and one of them sold for like $75. I was like, what is going on? And my friends at school were like, what the hell? Why do you want these? Because we used to wear them. It's 9th grade, 10th grade, we wore them. 11th grade, we were like, no, we're not wearing this. 12th grade, I was like, let me buy them. They're like, are you going to wear them again? You're a weirdo? And I was like, nope, I'm going to sell them. So I sold them. I started with that. So on eBay, I sold Johnny Cupcakes. And then I was just like, I'm going to go to thrift stores. Let's just start flipping shit at thrift stores. So I just started flipping shit at thrift stores. So then I started getting a polo. And you don't know this, but like polo, Ralph Lauren stuff is like, there's like people, it's like a cult. It's like you're into you're a low head. You're a polo head.
A low head? That's what
a low head. You're a low head? Like, it's like, yo, I got a closet like $40,000 worth of polo stuff. It's like, it's serious. There's people in New York who like go to a street corner and like they just wear their tightest shit and just post up. Like, they just talk. I got this, whatever. I don't know what the conversations go like. It's serious shit. Like, some polo pieces will go for $2,000, $3,000.
Why? Just because they're vintage?
Just because they're old and they're nostalgic and it's polo and it's like,
I mean, the brand is the brand.
Like, is crazy. Yeah.
There's no, polo has that.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, I think, could go through their closet and find one piece of polo that they own, because at one point they probably were wearing that gear, but I didn't realize it had such a.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the stuff, like, that's why when I went to that thrift store in West Roxbury, they just had crazy polo stuff. I was like, this is insane. And it makes sense because the whole East Coasters are wearing big jackets.
So you're going through all the seasons of the.
Yeah, you're going through 4 seasons. Out here, tank tops and like T-shirts. Every now and then you find a jacket. But the whole polo culture was just huge. And especially when I was in Boston, I was getting into it. I was like, man, I got to get the polo pieces because I was obsessed with polo. So that's what started. I was like, all right, I got to get the polo. Got to get the polo sport, whatever it is. So I started selling that on eBay. And then I was like, man, eBay's ripping me off. Like, they were taking like 12% or something fucking ridiculous. And I was like, nope, not doing that. See ya. So I started a big cartel, 5starvintage.bigcartel.com. And then, so it's about to be like March of 2012, about to graduate. And I dropped the site July of 2012, and I was just selling shit, just whatever. It was like 20 pieces I started out with on there. Had some shitty logo I made that looked like the Seinfeld logo. Yeah. Put a little clothes hanger at the end.
Oh, I think I saw the original one.
I still have it somewhere. Yeah. And that's what it was. I was just selling on Big Cartel. And then summer happens, I go to Regis, and then I I left all my clothes that I had collected over the summer and, you know, throughout the year at my dad's, and my dad was shipping them out for me. And then I was like, I'll just start a new collection here in Boston. So that's why I was going to thrift stores every day, doing whatever I can on Sundays, walking to the thrift store that was like 2 miles down the road from us, and just starting my own collection. Excuse me. And it started getting to a point where it was like March of 2013, the next year, the dorm room was just stacked with clothes. Just my roommate was like, yo, like, you got to get rid of it. Like, I can't live with you, dude. It smells like mothballs.
Oh, because they're old from the
They're
vintage.
old, and they're like wool,
yeah.
and like my roommate was over it. And like I couldn't even, like, I remember like if I slept and I kicked my pillow, it would hit my light, and my light would hit the clothes, and all my clothes would fall. And it was just like piles of it. My roommate was just over it, and I was over it too. And Regis wouldn't let me live off of campus and pay for it. If I lived off of campus, I would have to pay for it, because they wouldn't upgrade my dorm room.
Of course not. They're gonna give you the money for this, and that's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting. And I would get the same dorm room throughout the 4 years. So I was like, man, I got to choose up here. It's either I just stop my business, just fuck it, I'm not doing it, and keep playing ball. And like, I felt like being at a D3 or at a dead end as far as ball, because it's like, yeah, you could go overseas, probably not going to the league. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like you're either going.
This passion's coming to an end.
It is very soon. Within the next 3 years, it's going to be done. So I was like, all right, let's just pull the trigger and let's just get it over with this year. So I just was like, all right, I'm gonna drop out. I decided like I'm gonna drop out like February. I was like, I'm not going to class. Fuck this. I just didn't go to class. I went to 3 classes. I went to digital media. I was like, this shit is fire. I went
it's
to
probably good for 5-star
Exactly.
because you can incorporate what you're learning.
I went to business class, ran by a lunatic, but it was still kind of cool. And then I went to, I want to say it was like graphic design or something.
3 classes.
And
that add
those
value.
3 classes I wasn't supposed to take until I was a senior. And I took them, and I was like, nah, we're about to just run it up. Let's just take the classes I want to take and get the most out of it, and then see it.
And then be out.
Because like when I signed up, they were like, you're not supposed to take this till you're like a junior or senior. And I was like, just fucking put me in it. I had like people who were on like their last week of like school when I was in there. I was like, yo, I've been here like 6 months and I'm in your class.
And I'm about to be out of here.
I'm about to be
in
out.
6 weeks.
I remember I had an English teacher, and she saw me in the parking lot, and she was like, you just don't go to class anymore? I was like, nope. She was like, all right.
She didn't even care.
She didn't care. I was like, nope, not going to class. And that class was ridiculous. It was like, yeah, we're going to crank out 7 essays a week. I was like,
I'm
no,
not.
you have fun with that. I'm not
You
cranking
crank out 7 essays. I'm gonna go crank out 7 pieces of clothing.
Exactly.
Where did you get the name 5-star from?
5-star. Well, I was thinking like, what's top? What's like, you know, like what's the high grade? And I was like, top notch vintage? Nah, that's lame. And then I was just like, all right, let's just call it 5-star. It's like kind of hokey, and it's also like kind of like, I don't know. I thought it was like so hokey that it like worked. You know, like you go to like grocery stores and you're like, oh, it's 5-star grocery.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, it's kind of cheesy, but I like it.
Yeah.
Like 5-star grocery, it's right down the street. I don't know. I just thought it was like stupid, but like also fit what I was trying to do. It was like, all right, I'm gonna have 5. Like, I don't know where that comes from. 5 stars. Like, why? Who said 5 stars?
I don't know. But just hearing that as a brand, I think it's quality, but it's priced right. Like when I think of, if you call something this is 5-star burgers or 5-star, you know, they just close.
Dude, 5-star burger sounds fire. Like I would eat there.
Let's start it.
Let's start it out. 5-star Bob's Burgers, man.
Come through. Come through right here in Sun Valley, California. Come through. So it makes sense. Okay, so the 5-star definitely makes sense then.
Yeah.
What's crazy too?
Going back though, I would name it something different.
I feel like everybody goes through that phase. They would want.
Because I was like 18, I was like, yep, 5-star works for me, man. I wasn't put 5 stars on the logo, make it super cheesy.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, let's just make it Seinfeld. But yeah,
you got to stick with it. What you got.
Yep.
What's crazy too is showing the commitment side of what you were doing. So, Regis College in Weston.
Yep.
So at the time when you were there, the West Roxbury clothing vintage.
Oh, Savers.
That was in West Roxbury.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
Oh,
I know the answer to this, but people don't really see the commitment of how you were getting there.
So West Roxbury and Weston are like close as far as like, I want to drive my car. It's not that far. As far as like California it goes, you're not going to walk there. It's not that close. But like buses and trains, it's like you got to go like east on the so I'm gonna start it off. So I wake up, walk my ass to the front of the school, take the bus, the shuttle down to the train stop, which
how long was it? 15 minutes?
It's like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right down the street. Take the little bus. You sit there. You wait. It's the green line. Wait there. Wait for your train. Your train takes you all the way. You go through like 10 stops downtown. You transfer at the I think it's where Orange meets. You take Orange back the other way to the dead end. You go dead end Orange. Whatever it is. Stop. I don't know what it is. You go dead end Orange. I just remember like when I get off, people are just like, yeah, you got to get the hell off. I was like, oh shit. Well, here we go. So I think it's Roxbury's actual stop, I think. So I used to walk that. I used to go Roxbury and then walk a mile and a half up to West Roxbury or whatever it is. And then I found out it was a train or a bus. I was like, let's hop on the bus. So the bus takes you to this hospital, veteran something hospital. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. There is a veterans hospital in like Roxbury area.
So it drops off there right in the front, and then you walk, like a mile or a half a mile up the street, and then you go to the thrift store, and then do the same thing back. But what we used to do is we used to walk past the veterans thing, the hospital, and go to Five Guys and Chipotle, and just eat up there, and then just walk back to the train station. It's
because you had a journey getting back, so it's like you need to be, you have to be filled up because you're not getting anything for like 2 hours.
And we used to. I think Dylan went with me a couple of times, and we went Five Guys, got burgers, fries, went to Chipotle. I got a burrito and a quesadilla. How did I eat that? I couldn't eat that right now. There's no way I could eat that.
That's a lot of food.
That's so much food.
That's a lot of calories.
It is too, because I was like, I was playing sports.
You're 19 at the time, dude. You can drink, eat as much as you please.
And I was also playing sports, so it was like we're burning 4,000 calories every practice. So I was like, I need a calorie up here, and then just burn it off.
See, that's crazy. You were doing all this while at the time
playing
full
basketball.
Committed to his.
I'll do this on Sundays because Sundays we had
basketball. Excuse me.
Yeah. School. Well, the first semester I had a 3.2 the first semester, so I wasn't bullshitting.
Yeah.
And I had school, basketball, and on Sundays we would have just like film, and I would go, all right, Sunday after film, going to thrift stores, or before film, going to thrift stores. So, and then there was also a thrift store down the street. I say down the street, it was far as shit, but I would take the bus, the shuttle bus to the first green line where it takes you, and then I wouldn't get on the train. I would just walk through the neighborhoods, and it was in Watertown.
Okay.
It was like a little mom and pop. I found so much gold there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. Oh man, I love that place. I want to go back to those thrift stores. Like I love those thrift stores.
I didn't. Thinking about it now, it makes sense that you could probably find a lot of pieces out there that you clearly cannot find out here.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
Because the weather, the train. Mm-hmm. There's jackets out there. You don't need them as much out here.
There's also a lot more older people out there too.
Well, there's more history, I guess you could say, to Boston. Yeah. So there's a lot more clothing, obviously, that's probably tucked away and just hidden.
Passed through the generations.
Yeah, it's been passed and passed and passed. What's something that you wish you knew now, something that you know now that you wish you had known when starting 5 Star? Whether it's business, whether it's branding, whether it's marketing.
It's always hard to answer these questions because it's like I know what I know now and I don't remember not knowing it.
Yeah.
What's something that I would? What's the question?
What's something you wish you knew then?
Oh,
that you know right now.
I didn't know that because the way that my business works is just being consistent. So like you have to post stuff every week, every day, or whatever it is. At first I was just like, yeah, I'll post it like when I get like 8 items, 10 items. But it was like I needed to get 10 items every 3 days to keep it consistent because people, especially with the internet, you got to be on it. Like it's like people forget about you, and like you see like just tragedies that go on. You're like, oh, I already forgot about it. It's been 3 days. It's like I don't remember the people that died or the hurricane that happened. It's just like people forget. So it's like every day you got to be like, I got to remind them. Okay, I got this new. And at first I wasn't doing it. I was just like, yeah, like once a week I'll tweet, once a week I'll Instagram. Instagram didn't mean anything to me. I started Instagram thinking like, oh, some bullshit, right? Yeah. I was thinking like Twitter is about to be king. So yeah, just being consistent. I didn't know that at first. I was like, all right, well, every day you got to post stuff. Every day you got to put stuff on the website. Every day you got to, just be on it, be on the content. Especially you know that too. Like you have to be on it. You have to be on content. People will forget. Yeah. And it's weird, man, because it's just like, how do you forget?
Because there's so much media out there now.
So much going on.
It's just a constant feed of people pushing whatever it is, whether it's their personal brand, whether it's their own business brand.
Whatever it is, their own.
You have to literally get in the face of people because I could scroll, see a good piece of clothing that I want to buy off you, and I think, okay, that's cool. I'm going to do this later because right now I'm out with my homies. And then you don't post anything. And there's nothing to remind me of that brand. So it's like you have to post consistently. And that's how I've treated like the podcast material. Like, even though somebody might have heard the new podcast release, I need to post daily to try to catch them on a fucking 60-second clip and hope that sells them enough to be like, oh, I do want to actually listen to this podcast.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works too, because it's like, like big brands like Target and Amazon. It's like, all right, wait, you guys are gonna come to us. Like Amazon's got us so deep now. Yeah, just like we know you're gonna come back. Yeah, but like me and you, they're like, all right, well, I don't.
When you start at the bottom, I
don't really need it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't really need vintage clothes. It's like, you don't really need a podcast. It helps. Vintage clothes might help you. Like, oh man, I feel dope as fuck today. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm going to a club, or whatever it is. You're not gonna go to a club in vintage, but or maybe you could and get kicked out. But like, they'd be like, yo, no white t-shirts. Yeah. So whatever, unless you're balling. But yeah, you don't really need it. So it's like we gotta put it in their face. I guess that's the more explicit way of putting it. But I like
put it right in their face every single time.
And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, fuck with it.
Send me the money. Send me the money. What's your strategy been to growing this business? Because you've been
I take Lil B's philosophy.
Lil B's philosophy.
Yeah, Lil B just does nothing, and you're just like, how the fuck is he still relevant? Lil B does Twitter, Instagram. He used to do Tumblr, and then that's it. YouTube. And you're just like, Lil B is relevant. Lil B, I curse you. You're cursed. People are like, yo, he cursed James Harden. People are going crazy. It's like, how is he still relevant? He uses He uses everything free. He doesn't advertise, and he's still huge. He just uses free. He uses free YouTube, free Twitter, free Instagram. That's what I kind of live by, but sometimes you got to kind of use Google or whatever it is just to help fill the gaps. Mm-hmm. But that's what I like. So like Twitter was free, Instagram was free. I was like, I'm going to build this business word of mouth and through engagement, through people tagging friends, through people liking my photos. Like I'm not going to go Amazon on people. I'm not going to go, all right, I got to put 50,000 into advertising this year. I used to work for a company who did that, and it was like, yeah, it works, but like people don't give a shit. Yeah. It's like people will buy it because you're giving them a deal. Because the place I worked at was a clothing business. It was like for women, and
it's good insight then.
It's good insight. I definitely learned a lot there. But they were just like, yeah, we're gonna pump in 55,000 this month into advertising, and it's like, yeah, it's cool. You're gonna get. They made like $1 million in sales, but like the next month it dropped off because people don't give a shit. People saw the advertisement and was like, oh yeah, I'm sold. But it's like, are you coming back for more? They were like, yeah, we like the product, but it's just like, I don't really give a shit because it's just, I don't know. And the stuff that they sold was pretty boring. It was very like, the basics. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say is like, I like word of mouth goes a lot farther. Like people talking about your podcast is like more meaningful than me doing a Twitter ad.
Absolutely.
Or a billboard or whatever it is. A billboard works for like movies because it's like, yeah, I want to see that movie. All right, well, we got your money. That's all we need. We just need one time. Mm-hmm. But us, we need it. We need people listening to this shit. We need people on our shit. We need people to be on the website at all times because it's like that's how we're getting our stuff. But movies, like billboards, it's like go to our movie once. That's all we need. We just need your $12.95. Yeah, we don't. That's it. We don't live off of $12.95. No. You know what I mean? So it's like we got to be on it. And Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and all that is all free, and it's the dopest shit because it's all free. Yeah. It's just like there's no better way of doing it.
I think if you have the money to spend and budget wise, it just
Yeah.
Why not? But at the same time, you could allocate that money towards something. Like I've started to realize growing this, I'm better off instead of spending. I mean, I still have been dabbling with doing a little bit of advertising. I mean, honestly, in the year and a month that I've been doing this, I don't think I've spent more than like $400 or $500 on advertising. Mm-hmm. Probably. But I see so much more value in using that money and buying more hats, and then using those hats to give out to people for free because they're already rocking with the brand. Yeah. I see them either tweeting about it or sending me a DM, and if they catch me on the right day, I'll be like, hey, if you're willing to pay for shipping, which is like $5, I will send you a free hat. Yeah. And then they wear that hat, and somebody goes, yo, what's that purpose in the youth? What's that about? And if they truly rock with the brand, they're almost like a mobile salesman. Exactly. For me. Yeah. So I've started to realize investing my advertising into the people that are actually already rocking with me because they care for the product. I'm not selling to them. Yeah. You need to like purpose in the youth. Yeah. I'm more selling them. You like this brand. I want to take you to another level.
They already like it. So it's like you already got that down. Yeah. It's the people that are like, yeah, I like your hat. I don't like everything else. It's like, you're not really helping me. If they wear the hat and someone asks, I'm pretty sure they'll tell them. But like, it's not the same as like
if I just go give a random stranger that hat.
Yeah, they're like, I don't give a shit about.
Just gave it to me. I don't know. It's some bullshit.
I'll just throw it in the trash. But Yeah, if people are rocking with you and they're rocking your hat, that's definitely, it's like a walking, it's like billboard. It's like a walking billboard. You know what I mean? Like my mom is give more leads to random kids that she's seen just like handing out stickers. Oh, my son has this. I know you like it. Like, and I get people that tweet me like, oh, I think your mom gave me this.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? So it's just like stuff like that. Like,
however inbound you need to get it.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take it, dude. If that's what it is. I mean, even if you don't buy anything, even if you just like
awareness,
you just look, just look at it, and then you're on your computer and your friend's over, and you're like, oh, what the hell's that? Oh, it's this website I found. You know, it's weird. This is something I was thinking. People don't. I found this like when I first started. Is people don't like to share clothing. Like, well, all right. So let's say I'm fucking a different dude.
I know exactly what you're about to say. Go ahead.
I'm a different dude. I find 5-star. I'm like, oh shit. I found the
gem.
come up right now. I'm not telling fucking no one. I'm about to go to school and I'm about to kill them off. With whatever I just found. They're gonna be like, where'd you get that at? Can't tell you.
Yeah.
So I found that when I first started, it was like people wouldn't tell. People still do that. People will buy shit and just like don't tell nobody, and they'll be rocking it like
it's like a hidden gem.
Yeah,
it's like a secret.
Yeah,
this is where I get my clothes,
and it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of lame to me. It's like, damn, man, you could just tell them.
Yeah.
But also, it's like I get it because I would do the same shit if I found some fly
I was
shit.
doing the same shit in high school.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, if I found this in like on a thrift store or on a website, and I went to school, and people are like, where'd you get that Jimi Hendrix? I'd be like,
yeah, I ain't telling you.
You gotta find it. You gotta find out, dude. Look who I follow on Twitter, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah. When you're going through these warehouses, you took me to the one it was East LA, right? Warehouses, we're not gonna say the names, but you go to a warehouse, you're looking for, these vintage clothes. There's thousands of pieces, racks of sports and all that. How do you pick out the ones that you now put on your website? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a certain? Do you go in with like a certain mentality of I need sports, I need this, I need that? How do you pick out?
Yeah, it's like that. I go like, all right, well, sportswear is like what sells. Like people love it, so I definitely go like sportswear. But sometimes I get bored and I'm like, all right, I keep buying the same shit. People keep buying it, but it's boring. So I'll just buy some weird shit. It's just like some weird ass T-shirt that I think is cool, and I'll see if it sells. I'll test the water with stuff. Like a denim jacket that has like holes in it or whatever it is. I'll test stuff like, all right, does this work? Does this work? Some things just don't sell. I don't know why. Like Laker gear just does not sell. Couldn't tell you why. 49er stuff does not sell. Couldn't tell you why.
You haven't matched it by the team.
It's just like, I don't know. Because you do this for long enough. You see shit just sit there. Just like, why the fuck hasn't this sold? It's 49ers. People love the 49ers. Why the fuck hasn't it sold? You know what I mean? So it's like 49.
Does Boston stuff sell?
Yeah, Boston, they fucking... You know what it is? It's the fucking Lakers, dude. People just like... They're so wishy-washy out here with the Lakers. They're like, oh,
Kobe's gone. We don't need
we don't like the Lakers no more. And then like Lonzo comes, it's like, yeah, I'm a Laker fan now. Yeah. It's like Chris Paul leaves. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not a Clipper fan no more. Yeah. It's just like, that's how it is out here. But 49er fans are pretty dedicated because I lived in the Bay, so I know people were fighting over the 49ers. Like, you like the Raiders? I like the 49ers? We're going to fight. So I was like, why aren't people buying it? So there's a couple things that I learned, like teams that just won't sell, even like players that won't. Like, I'm not buying Lance Armstrong stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just not going to happen. No. Like Penn State, good luck. Not selling. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. There's sometimes I see some Penn State stuff and I'm like, dang, this is fire. But like,
nobody's
can't sell it. I won't sell it. It's just like too much, man. That maybe in like 10 years I will, but not now.
So what's the hottest product that sells, do you think? Like if you walked into a warehouse and you saw just a rack full of
right now
this type of brand or clothing,
it fluctuates. You go through like sessions where it's like, dang, hockey jerseys are just flying. Sometimes like hockey jerseys aren't flying right now. I don't know why. Basketball jerseys in the summer, see ya, bye. It's stuff like Nike stuff usually is always solid. Like Nike is just like the best brand.
Like if you get like the 90s vintage stuff,
anything like I've sold some bullshit Nike like on eBay and stuff. People just buy it just because it's like, oh, Nike. It's just they love it. It has a big logo. Nike, love it. It's brand new, but it's Nike. So Nike is always like up there. Yeah. Anything like Guess went through its phase. Like Guess still kind of is popping right now. Baseball jerseys fluctuate too, though. Like you'd think like baseball jerseys are always on fire, but I guess not.
No.
So it just fluctuates. I kind of see what people are buying and what people or what I like on Instagram. Like people are selling like, or what Kappa is. No. CAPPA. It's like a soccer brand. I think it's a British brand. That shit is like so hot right now. Like people are buying it. I remember I sold like a suit for like $80, but like people sell them for like 350 to 400. Like it's ridiculous how much they're selling for, and it's like not even that tight. It's okay, it's cool, but people just hyped on it. So like anything like right now, like with that is just like.
So you just pay attention to what the market is asking.
Yeah, what
for.
people are after. I mean, also I like selling stuff that I like. For the most part, 90% of the stuff on the website I would rock. I'm not gonna sell you some fucking like some bougie ass like.
And you're not gonna. Why would you ever invest into buying something that you know isn't gonna?
Because I want to wear this shit. If like if no one buys it, I'm gonna be all right. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna rock this shit.
So you're just sticking to what your taste is and knowing that somebody eventually out there is gonna want to buy it.
But yeah, there are some things on the website I would not wear, like a Chanel bomber. Like I'm not wearing that. No. It's just too much for me. Anything. I feel like white guys, like especially my color, should not be wearing gold. It just doesn't flow. Like
blends right through.
It's just like, yo, you're already gold, dude.
Go sit outside, get a tan, dude. You'll be good.
I need it. I need to get
Come out there, bro. I'll join you, man.
I already out in the sun enough.
That is true.
Not in the last month, but
yeah, you've been chilling. You've been chilling for a little bit. It seems that also your price point is below what a lot of consignment and other probably competitors of yours are. Why do you keep the price so low?
That's why I started it. So there was a lot of websites that when I first started doing it, I would look them up and they'd be like $300 for a starter jacket, $150 for a starter jacket. And I was like, dang, like, why is that so much? And I would find these at thrift stores for like $2, $3. And I was like, man, I'm about to just sell them for 25 and see what happens. So that was my niche. That's what I still thrive off of. And there's people who've caught on to it who do the same thing, but that's what I was doing. I was like, all right, people are going to overprice their shit, or they're going to make it like I'm only selling the fucking movie stars or whatever it is. They're trying to make it like a bougie brand. Like, oh, 300 because I know I can get it. You know what I mean? So mine was like, all right, I'm going to buy it for 5, but I'm going to sell it for 30. And then I'm going to be the middle guy.
Just flip and just sell it fast.
And just be there. I mean, the margins, I mean, obviously, if you buy it for 5 and you sell it for 150, I mean, that's just like.
That's ridiculous.
But if I buy it for 5 and I sell it for 30, I'm still making good money. I mean, I don't ever buy things for 5, but, 15, am I making 30 on it? I'm making $15. It's not bad. Yeah. I could make more. But it's just, I rather just, because that was the shit that was annoying. Because I would look at these websites in high school and I was like, I want to wear this stuff, but $150 is going to kill me. So I was like, man, I'm going to just do this myself and just make the price range where like people go on it and they're like, is this even real? Like, that's what I get. People are like, yo, your shit, I had a dude a couple weeks ago, like, your shit was real? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, nope, it's not real. I was like, all right, dude. Well, I'm saying it's real, and like people buy stuff, so it has to be real. And he's like, "No, you're on some bullshit." He was like mad at me. I'm like, "Dude, it's real." He goes, "Nope, it's not real."
And he did.
I just like DM'd him. I'm like, "All right, man. Well, good luck." He was just like mad. Like he was like, "Man, this shit's bullshit. It's $20. Like I can't even believe this." He was hating. Like, "Fuck you, man." Like he was mad. So like I get that sometimes, but people are like, "Yo, is this even legit?" So that's where it's kind of weird, but.
They should catch on. If they did a little bit of research, they should catch on that it's legit.
Like, if you see me on Twitter, like, if you respond to me, I'm not going to respond back. Like, Instagram, like, I'm pretty good with that. So it's like, if people were fake.
You also have an archive of thousands of posts.
Literally thousands. Like, 4,000.
Yeah, you just sat there one day bored and you just posted 1,000
you think I'm just, like, that
just
dedicated?
To get some fake website.
People would be right. Like, I remember there was a couple scammers, and people would just, like, 3,000 comments. Fuck this dude. He's scamming me. And then, like, people would know. That's the good thing about the internet. If you're on bullshit, the internet's going to find out. And
people will go so far to dig you into the ground.
Oh, yes.
If you scam them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to be good at business because that short term, I'm going to make $100 off this person and not send them shit.
Yeah. See,
you're done.
Bye-bye, and then, like, PayPal, when I first started, PayPal wasn't strict. I remember I used to sell shoes online, and I used to get fucking robbed. And PayPal wasn't strict on it. PayPal was just like, well, it's kind of your fault. Like, that's what PayPal, it wasn't like that, but it was like, well, you kind of sent them the money, and we can't really do anything. And I was just like, all right, well, I just lost $150 to some dude in Oregon. So now it's like PayPal's like, yo, like, I mean, you seen that shit with, like, a couple of your friends who, like, sell stuff on PayPal, and then, like, no, we got to revoke all this shit because you can't do that shit no more, especially with, like,
they're getting real strict on it because they see it. They
know motherfuckers is stealing shit and robbing motherfuckers. Like, it's
a good thing to have in place, and then sometimes it can be bad because, like, having such a strict security behind like this whole PayPal world, because then people that I can't even argue it. If you're selling bullshit and they catch on, they're gonna be like, yo, give us the money. So you could try beating the system, and then when the system's
just like come up with like a fake social security number.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're contacting. It's not me.
It's not me. It's not me.
Yeah.
So you've been at this. So this was in 2013. You launched this.
2012.
2012. 2017. Right now, almost 20. You've been at this for a long time.
Yeah.
5 years, almost 6 years now.
3 years doing it for real.
For real.
Two like.
But still,
definitely. Yeah. I was definitely
to this where you're at today. What's the driving force behind you? Why are you still
doing it? Yeah. I like finding clothes. I mean, I was starting to get to a point like I'm kind of tired of ship packages and stuff. So like definitely like
you're tired of shipping packages.
I don't like doing that. It's just it's like whatever. I mean, like I hate it.
Making money.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's just annoying sometimes. So when your ankle's fucked up, it's like oh, this shit gotta stop. So finding maybe like someone to do that down the line, like a part-time employee to do that would be dope. Like just like little shit like that, like ship packages and put stuff on the website. Just 2 things. Everything else, I love finding clothes. Like that's my favorite part. And like even like Instagram photos are fun to me, and like social media, I like doing that. I don't mind all that. Like people contact me like, yo, I'll do your social media. And I was like, no, I want to do it. Yeah. I'm a control freak. That's like the worst part about who I am. I think it's like good and bad, because it's like part of me wants to like let people run this and like do their thing, but part of me is like content control. I got to control everything because I'm a control freak, and it's like kind of bad because it's like I can't expand, but I'm just like fuck. Like I like control. Like I love knowing, like even like when people are like, yo, I'll run your Instagram, I'll do it for free, and it's like I can't do that, man. I just can't. Like it's me.
Well,
I have to do it.
The thing is, and I feel the same way, because I think about shit. What if I got an intern that was interested in audio, like producing, and I had somebody write out the script for the episodes, or not even like the script, but the outline that I used to then like use for the marketing and like the tools. But I can't allow somebody to do it, because if it doesn't come out the way that I want it,
I'm freak
pissed.
Out. Yeah.
Because it's a waste of time on them. It's a waste of time on me. And then I now have to go back and do it. So being that it is all under you right now, you know that if things are going to plan, you're cool.
It's
you're
on
chilling.
me. Yeah.
But if there's any slight hiccup, you could be pissed, but you know it's on you to fix.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's somebody else, you have to go through training them. But I could imagine the best position you could get to with this business would be you go out and do the shopping, you find all the products because you know you're the curator, you know what the taste is, and then you come back, you have somebody who does like the management side, does the logistics of shipping out the product,
definitely
inventory, and maybe taking the actual photos, and then you would be sitting back doing the shopping and then posting out like the social media.
And also the margins have to meet too. I mean, because like essentially the business isn't making money. The asset is the business. It's like
everything you make is going right back in.
It's going right back into it. So it's like I'm not even worried about like, oh man, I gotta make like 10 grand profit. I don't give a shit about that. It's just like if I have to pay someone out, this is where I'm getting to. It's like if I have to pay, if I'm losing money on it, I don't even give a shit, because it's like I'm free. You know what I mean? Right now I'm kind of, it's like a job almost. It's like I have to do this. I'm obligated.
Yeah.
That I've signed up by myself. So it's kind of like I'm getting to a point where it's like, all right, I'll even like lose money if it means that I have to pay someone $13 an hour or, you know, whatever it is to run it, which I don't really care about. I'm starting to get to that where it's like, all right, I need to like break off and not do everything from A to Z. Also, like, that's the thing that you were saying was like, you're worried about like if it coming out bad, but that's also kind of on yourself for hiring the wrong person. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like if you hired an idiot, it's like it's kind of on you because you hired an idiot. So that's why it's like I feel like if you hire the right person, and they, you know, they're gonna fuck up, because I used to work at places and I used to fuck up too. But it's like a learning process. Like, you know when someone's good,
absolutely.
You know when someone's got it or they don't. And it's like if you hire them and they're willing to like grow or whatever it is, then I think you're good. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it's like, yeah, you're gonna have hiccups. Like you're gonna have like, oh, I ship out shit to the wrong address sometimes. I'm like, fuck. Like, how did I do that? So like I can't imagine like if someone was here and they shipped it out or did something wrong, like I would have to accept that. I kind of picked you, but like to a certain extent people could change and all that. But what I was gonna say was being not knowledgeable is like a good asset. As far as like, let's say you don't know shit about podcasts and you don't know shit about editing and you don't know shit about shit.
It's a different perspective.
And now you're just like, yeah, I need you to do all this. And if it comes out to how I like it, then we're good. But you know how to edit. you know how this shit works. You know what sounds good. So it's kind of like hurts you because you're kind of like, fuck, I know what the end product has to be. Mm-hmm. So it kind of hurts. And that's the same thing with me. It's like, I know what the end product has to be. And it's like, if I knew less, like if I just said, all right, I want to put clothes on the website, figure it out. Like I wouldn't have no clue how it works. So I wouldn't have any like.
It's like you're hitting the refresh button. You have to, everything that you've learned, swipe it clean. Yeah. Starting at ground zero.
Exactly.
How do we go about this?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, I wish I knew less. Knowing less is good essentially when you're running a business. Like Jeff Bezos, who runs Amazon, he doesn't give a shit about some of the things that happen down the line. I can almost guarantee. I just saw from a CEO that I worked for, they didn't give a fuck about like how the bag was folded or whatever it was. It was little details. They didn't give a shit about what they should have, but they just didn't care because other people below them cared. Yeah. So it was like they didn't care. They had
bigger problems.
They had bigger problems. So it was like, I wish that's what the problem I need is like, do it, and I'm just gonna have a blind eye. Hopefully you figure it out. Just don't be. But it's too late now. We're already here. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of the problem. But I guess you just gotta grow from that.
Aside from possibly bringing like a team member onto it, or even to a point where you have maybe like a full team, what do you want to see happen in the next 6 months, year, 5 years with 5-star Vintage?
Well, I had a goal for the end of the year to have an employee or like a part-time. That was like my goal. But it was kind of depending on where I lived and how our living situation worked out. So that's why I was kind of like, all right, I'm going to put that on hold. I'll give it till, next year. So we'll see. I feel like I got to do something here in the next like year to kind of like, because I can't keep running this how I'm running. Like I've ran it I run it in a garage. Like it's not very, the way I run it is very like thrifty. It's funny. Like I go to thrift stores and I run it thrifty. Like I run it very like lean. Yeah. It's not like I'm spending $8,000 a month on my property to run it. So eventually I got to figure out somewhere like I could run this and have someone run it without me living in it. Like as I live in it, I've walked 10 steps and I'm in it. You know what I mean?
I live in it too.
Yeah, you live in it too. So yeah, you're living in it too. So it's like eventually get it out of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
so you can separate the work environment from your actual.
I want to say my idea, but I don't feel like someone's gonna steal it. I have an idea for something, but I feel like
don't say it then.
Yeah.
If you get, can you like?
I have an idea for a way to make my business portable.
Okay.
That helps, but I haven't done any research. Just something I'm thinking of.
Okay.
So that'd be key to like do something like that down the line within the next year. Definitely. I think that I put it in. I said it in words, and it's going to be in the ethers of the internet now. Yeah. I have to make it happen.
You have to make it happen.
So shout out to you.
That's one thing. I'm very. How do I say this? For instance, you're doing the thrift store. You have a lot of merch products. So if you wanted to pack up, which you clearly packed up and moved here to this house, there was a process because you had to bring all the merch.
Yeah, I'm over that.
I'm thankful, or I don't know how to say it, but I rolled the dice, came up with this podcast concept, and I have, if the need to travel, I can pack everything in a bag. Yeah, and I love that because this is the world that we live in. We always are on the move. We're always on the go, and I also have tried to become much more minimalist about what I own and what I don't need, and it's so fire that I could just literally, I just, like I said, I just rolled the dice. I didn't plan to do a podcast and think, I'll be able to travel with it. No. But I can pop up shop anywhere need be.
Yep,
2 lights, 2 mics, little camera, tripod, hit start, record.
Yeah. All you need is like a little tiny desk.
That's it.
You don't even need this.
I have done it on coffee tables. I've done it in hotel rooms.
You can do it on that little stool.
You can do it anywhere. Yeah. You can literally stand and hold the mic if need be. And really? And you make it work.
That's so fire. That's where I'm trying to get it to be like, own nothing but what's the word? Own nothing but control everything.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's the bit. That's where I was telling you, like, yo, we got to come up with something like, because you don't want to own like that era of like, I got to own it. Like I got to own a car shop to sell cars. It's like that.
People don't even own cars anymore. Uber.
Yeah. It's just like that whole thing is just starting to become dead. And it's like, that's where I'm kind of like, I got to make out like virtual clothes or something. Like people just like put them on with their 3D glasses or something. Like
I like that.
I don't know.
You got some ideas. I know you got some ideas. You're a huge fan of stand-up comedy. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You've done it a handful of times yourself.
Yeah.
You at one point had a podcast you were doing.
Yeah, just
by
for
yourself
shits and
for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
Nothing too serious, but still you were
putting
it out to the world that if anybody wanted to listen to it, they could. Right. What do you love the most about comedy?
The vulnerability, I guess. And like, what if you're on stage, it's so now. It's like this podcast. Like, we're not editing any of this, by the way. Like,
No,
I'm not
no,
doing
straight
it.
through.
Because it's just like, that's what stand-up is. It's like whatever I say right now is in the present. You either hate it or you love it, or you just fuck you, man, or oh, that's so funny, like you're so good. So that's why I like it, and it's like a hate love. Like if you say something and people are just like hate it, crickets. You're just like fuck. You're just sitting up there in your own like filth.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dope, but it's also kind of the worst thing. It's like I remember I bombed at this place and it was like 3 people there, and I was just like, you can't really bomb in front of 3 people, but it was just like everybody was just like drunk and just like they don't really give a fuck. And I was just like, dude, fuck everyone in here. Like, just fuck you guys. And people just started laughing because they're just like, dude, fuck you too, man. Because it's like, we're in this together. So it's just like, I don't know. I like the vulnerability of it. Definitely need to do it more. I kind of laid off of it recently. Well, I was doing it because, well, also my ankle too. But I guess I could do it with an ankle. But I have a show I was going to do, like a GoPro show I was doing with, like, Dion actually went with me one time. Because I was just going to go to different cities and go to their thrift stores.
Oh.
And then do mics there. I've done it. I did it in Minneapolis, and I've done it in Albuquerque and Salt Lake City. I've done it 3 times. I have all the footage. I just haven't edited all of it. Mm-hmm. And I want to do more cities. I want to like document it. I don't know if I'm going to make it like a documentary or like an episode thing. But I definitely want to keep doing that because it's so silly. It's like when I went to Salt Lake, it was like 98 degrees. It's hot as shit in that cafe. It was like 15 dudes, all comics. He had Dion in the back, and it was just weird. And I was like, I love it, how weird it is. It was like at some like comic cafe, like comic book cafe. It was just really weird. And then, so I like how different that is. Like you go to a different mic. I went to mic in Minneapolis, and it was like the best mic I've ever seen in my life. It was like a legit, you could film a special there mic. I was like, this is crazy. And then you go to Salt Lake, and it's like this dude literally just has like a mic cord on like a thing. Like this is more high tech than what that mic was. So it's funny how it just like fluctuates, and I like that, how it's like gritty,
like rawness almost.
Yeah. Mic comedy is so gritty because it's like, here's a mic, and that's the beauty. Like you were saying, you could just leave. You could just pack all this stuff and leave. I don't have 3,000 items that I have to post. Comedy, you just show up. Like when I went, I just showed up with a backpack with clothes. I didn't bring a mic. I brought my phone with notes, and that's it.
You just go.
It's the purest form of like nothing. And it's like some people make a living off of it, which is insane.
Yeah. It's either you got it or you don't. Yeah. People are either dying laughing or they're just like, get the fuck off stage.
Yeah, and it could be other things too. Like let's say like, you know, it's weird. Like I used to only go up stage with my hair down because people, when I put hair up, they think I'm like an asshole. I don't know what it is. People used to tell me like, yo, you look a lot more threatening with your hair up. And it's weird shit like that. Like even tattoos, people throw it off. Like if I had blasted sleeve, people are like, oh, he's like a hard ass. He's like
that's just how people perceive.
Yeah, so it's like that'll throw it off. If I think you're a hard ass and you're really just like some goofy kid, but you got tattoos, and immediately I'm like, oh, fuck this dude. He rides a Harley and he does this and he smokes weed. I'm off of him.
Yeah. Then like, it doesn't matter what you say at that point. It's going one ear and out the other.
But you go up there with you know, a hoodie on and they don't know. You're like, oh, okay. I'm a lot more, you know, open to what you're saying. So it's stuff like that. Body language, I've learned a lot. Like people are just like not looking at you. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. Like, are they mad? Are they upset at you? It's just like stuff like that you learn. Like I've learned a lot about body language just from stand up. Yeah.
We gotta hit the comedy store this week then.
Definitely.
That's something
if we're all not sick.
Yes. You need to get better. What is your definition of a hustler? And I don't necessarily mean like, there's some people when they hear the word hustle or hustler, they have that bad, like, oh, you hustle people, you just like steal people money. I mean, people. No,
I get what you mean. I would say, what's the definition?
What's your definition of a hustler?
Doing anything. No, not anything. I guess that is. I'd say I don't have a problem with people like selling drugs and shit. I think that's like, if you got to do it. Like the dude you were telling me about, like if you got to do it, if you got a little kid, you got to do it. You got to do it. So I'd say by any means necessary, as long as no one is dying or getting physically hurt or mentally hurt, I feel like anything necessary to make ends meet is a good hustler. As far as like, I'm not gonna shoot you so I could steal your $3,000 in your pocket. Yeah, that's not a hustler. But like, if I gotta hustle the doctor, like, yo, here's $100 so you give me some pills that I could sell or whatever it is. I don't know if that's bad, because I guess it is kind of hurting someone down the line maybe, but I feel like I'm so liberal with that shit. Like, I know it's not good, but like if that's really what you got to do, like if your 1-year-old is about to like doesn't have food and you're just like, yo, like I can't get a job tomorrow and I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old and I got to make ends meet. And I feel like if you're not hurting anybody directly, I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, I've always had that same type of viewpoint. As long as what you're doing is not directly hurting somebody, or taking money or taking something from somebody.
Yeah. Unwillingly, I guess.
Yeah.
Taking a life, taking someone's
that's completely different. Yeah. Putting a gun to somebody or, stealing somebody's car, that's not what I mean. But somebody that hustles to either meet ends meet or to make things happen, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Then, because it doesn't even not always about money too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're trying to get fucking Logan Paul on the podcast, it's like, yo, like how would I get him on the podcast? Well, I gotta meet someone that knows him and maybe make friends with him, whatever it is. I feel like that's like hustle. But like if you just like shot down his house, like, yo, I need you on the podcast, like that's you're kind of hurting someone there, because now you're scaring the fuck out of him and you're probably gonna go to jail. So
that would not be a good thing.
No, that would not be a good thing. It'd be hilarious actually from my standpoint, because it's like, yo, Bob, let's chill out, dude. It's not that serious.
Calm it down. It's not that serious, dude. Podcast is not that serious.
So yeah, I think that's my definition. I don't know. I probably have to revoke that, but
no, that's fine.
All right, fuck it.
How do you think experiencing new things or traveling to different places helps people?
That's a good question. You ask these questions every podcast?
No.
Oh,
the random questions toward the end I change up.
I like this. How do I think that has changed people?
How do you think experiencing new things or experiencing new things or trying new things / going to new places helps people?
Well, let's see. Just from my short, year of traveling, I think you become more like empathetic of people. Like when I went to Minneapolis, I thought Minneapolis is like white people, but it's not. My 4 Uber drivers were all Somalian. Mm-hmm. And there's a huge like a lot of refugees are in Minneapolis. I didn't know that. And it was like, and I was in this community where there was a Savers, a thrift store, and I was walking around and it was like all different races. And I was like, I had no idea Minneapolis was like this. I just thought it was cold and like, that's it, Vikings. That's what I thought. Like people talked in yodels. Like I didn't know that. People don't talk like that. There's like 4 people in the whole that I talked to that really talk like that. So I had like this idea of like this cookie cutter, they do this, and this, and it's like they don't do that. So it's like I feel like when I saw that people lived, it was like kind of poor where I was at, but it was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I know that people are living differently, and I know the community is different than what I had in my head or whatever I saw on YouTube or whatever it is, that they don't live how I thought they lived. And like Salt Lake too, like everybody thinks Salt Lake is pretty like what you think, but just Chicago, like all the places I went to, it's just, I don't know, you see people going through hard times, you're like, oh, okay, well, the people are going through hard times here too. It's not just my one little area that I live in that people were struggling. And I haven't been out of the country. I've only been to England, but like if I went to Africa, I'd be like fucking completely like, just like 180. No, I don't even know how to comprehend this. Like, yeah. And or even like parts of Asia. It's just like they don't live any, like I know Asia. I want to go to Asia. I want to go to Japan, and I want to go to China at some point, because I know it's nothing like here. I know it's 180. We don't do the same shit that you do. Totally different lifestyle. We eat different. We live different. We do everything that we drive different. And that's where it's like, you go to the United States, it's like, all right, for the most part from California to Maine,
it's the same thing across the board.
Most people are living pretty, except for like North Dakota. I don't know how they live in Montana. Like Montana, I feel like it's different because like there's like 100,000 people that live there. So much space, different lifestyle. They're not worried about someone shooting down your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe it's a little bit different there. And Minneapolis is just, a little bit different too. But definitely like more empathetic of how people live. And like I was kind of under the perspective of like, no one's got it as hard as like people that I've seen. And it's like, yeah, people got it fucking way worse in different parts of the country. Like the shit that's going on in Chicago, that shit that like people are dying, like 2 people a day are dying, is insane to me.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that part of Chicago because I couldn't even tell you where it was at, but that shit is insane to me. And like if I went there and I saw that, I would just be like, yo, something has to change because this shit is insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say just being well-rounded as far as like humans go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just empathetic. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah. But like out of the country, I feel like it's totally different. You know?
Yeah. I want to travel so much more just because I think it's very similar to you. It's 180. It's perspective. Yeah. It's like being empathetic for people. And I don't know. You just learn so much just from perspectives of just seeing how people move or what people are going through. And then it's like, fuck, like why? Yeah. Like I got nothing to complain about. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I've tried to get better at. Is just perspective. Yeah. Like even when I'm fucking driving around for 10 hours a day and I want to bitch about not wanting to Uber these strangers in LA. Yeah. It's like I'm on my own time. I am healthy. My bills are being paid. I have food on the table, and there's people in this world that don't even have fucking somewhere to drink water.
There's 3 things that I live by. Like if I ever have these 3 things, life is fucking gold. If I have a hot shower a day, or at least in the week, gold. If I have a nice bed, gold. And if I have hot food, that's it. If you have those 3 things, your life is good. And clean water. If you have water that doesn't have like, even our water's fucked, but as long as I don't have like bugs and shit crawling out of it, I guess it's okay. Those 3 things is just like, yo, if I have those 3 things in a week, it's gold. Like you're living pretty good. Hot shower, nice bed. Even if you don't have a bed, if you have a couch, that's fire. Because people don't even have couches. And hot food. Because a hot food will change your day, and a hot shower will change your day. Yeah. Those are the 3 things that's just like, if my day is going bad, it's like, yo, did I have a hot shower today? Did I have hot food? And did you sleep on a fucking queen mattress? You're good. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And that sounds a little bit like, it's like, I understand that people don't all live that. That's how I feel. If to feel good, like about my day or just like who I am or like how I want to be, that's what the 3 things. I'm like, all right, you're good. Everything. Yeah, you fucking broke your foot and you're sick right now, but it's like, yo, I just slept in a fucking bed and I had clean water and I had tea. It's like, it's not that bad.
Could be
worse.
You
know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm in a room that's not blazing sun on me and I'm getting sunburned.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where I draw it. If I'm ever having a bad day, that's what I say. Like, all right, I got the 3. You know?
The 3. I like that.
The 3.
I'm going to start using that. Before I get into closing questions, this is when I reverse the role. I allow my guests to ask me any one question. It'll be about something we talked about today. I can't even imagine what this question might be coming from you, Steve. Any one question.
I want to get another question, but I wanted to ask you this since I moved in with you. All right. So on your name, how the hell did you figure out 3 B's and 4 A's?
And a Y? Yeah.
I want to hear this. No one's ever asked you that, right?
Nobody's ever asked me that, and that
shit annoys me that you did that.
Yeah, and
I don't know why. I want to hear your reasoning.
The reasoning is honestly pretty lame.
Really?
It's not really.
I thought you were gonna be like, man, 4 B's is like
there's no reasoning behind it except when I went on Instagram and I was making the change, somebody already had Bobbbaay. I just wanted it to be Bobbbaay. The way you would spell it out, that was taken. So then I was like, I don't know how. I went through a lot of trials. I went through Bobbbaay taken, then 3 B's, 3 A's Dude, I tried a lot of different things, and I finally got the Instagram handle of Bobbbaay with the 3 B's, 4 A's, and a Y, which is lame, bro. Like, it's a lame reason. But then I think also it just adds to the way it's pronounced. Bob, like the stretch
you definitely
of it. You know
stretch the A.
Bobbbaay, like I stretch it out even when I say it. So
our neighbors know you.
Yeah, the neighbors next door when their dogs are fucking barking every hour of the day. I'm just
they know.
Bobbbaay's next door. Bobbbaay's next door. So do I wish it was the way I wanted it to be? Obviously yes, but then it's also like, okay, well, this actually is the way it's pronounced, so that anytime when I hand people a card and they're like purposely with Bobbbaay, you know what I mean? They already kind of get it. So it's kind of a lame
trial and error.
Yeah.
And so Instagram influenced it.
Yeah. Shout out to Instagram.
Wait, is that your Twitter too?
The Twitter handle is just Bobby Hobart. The name is Bobbbaay though. I never changed the Twitter handle just because if you type in Bobby Hobart or Bob, it'll come up. But I wanted Actually, I never thought about changing the Twitter. I felt like with Twitter, I had to keep Bobby Hobart just because that's like
It's nostalgic.
Yeah, but with Instagram, I found that, and then I was like, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get Snapchat. Pissed. Somebody took that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's weird. I was trying
branding.
to do my Instagram, and like Steve Rushed was taken. Steve fucking everything. I was like, what?
How many Steve Rushes are it?
Dude,
How many Bobbbaaays are out there? That's
know.
why I was like, are you kidding me? Tried messaging the guy. Didn't respond. I was
No?
like, fire, bro. Sick, dude. Fucking
Just
stealing
be
my
like,
name.
You should just. I wonder how much Bob would cost.
I don't know. That'd be fire. Just Bob.
Probably like $3,000.
Hey, this is Purpose Eve with Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, it's too easy. And Bob, I like people. A lot of people call me Bob, but I always just feel like that's the old man, like Bob.
Yeah,
What's
I
up,
definitely
Bob?
call you Bob.
What's going on, Bob? I don't mind it.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong.
I definitely don't call you Robert though.
No, nobody calls me Robert.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird.
Robert, except my friend Zach Mitchell from high school. He still calls me.
Calls you Robert.
That's how he does. He goes Robert. And he calls me.
That's acceptable.
Robert. I'm like, all right, that's
Is he
fire.
from Boston?
Yeah. No, he's from Western Mass, Chickadee, where I grew up. So shout out to
Same
Zach
accent?
Mitchell if he hears this. No accents in West. No accents in Western
No
Mass.
accent,
Nah.
dude.
No accent, dude. Where'd you park the car? You know, I don't fucking know. Closing questions. This podcast could literally go on for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot we could talk
Got
about.
the sweats.
But
Do you clean these seats?
yes, I do. Clean
Are you
the
gonna
seats.
start
I
cleaning
actually
them?
don't clean the seats, so I don't know why I'm lying to you, but I'm gonna have to clean it because they get hot in here. We did not put the AC on before starting this podcast.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we fucked up.
That's all right.
Fucked
I don't
up.
believe in that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Shut down the south side
Yeah.
in the
dude,
sun.
we got the fan.
Yeah, dude. Love fans. Closing questions. Picture
Love
frame.
fans.
Picture frame on the wall. 10 years from now, you're in the
10
picture
years.
frame.
23.
What else do we see in the picture frame? What and who?
Let's see. I'm 33 years old.
Shout out Larry Bird.
Shout out Larry Bird. I was about to say, yo, I gotta have a. All right. So
Vintage game Larry Bird.
Photo 33. Let's see. Is it like landscape or like?
However you want.
Because if it's like landscape, I got.
Steven, however you want it to be.
Let's see. I definitely.
Here comes the bullshit.
I definitely have a parrot on my arm. Because that's fire.
That is kind of fire.
Parrots are fire.
Parrots are
if
fire.
they could get over the talking, they're fire.
We should get one for the crib.
No. Who is a parrot? Oh, never mind. Yeah, definitely have a parrot. Probably a nice looking woman. Hopefully like Italian. I like Italians. Or like, I don't care what she looks like, but like if she's cute. I don't care what she looks like, but if she's cute, if that made any sense.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a big ass dog, like next to my foot, just chilling. And then like, I gotta have. All right, so I got a parrot here. I gotta have something else. Right? Maybe like, maybe like a Chicago Bulls like NBA ring that I bought off of like Scottie Pippen or something. Just like glossing it, like
Flossing out. What's up?
And then like I'm gonna adopt the kid at some point, and like have him or her, probably a girl. She'll probably be like 15, or him.
That's dope.
Yeah. And then we'll probably be like the background is gonna be like Aspen. It's gonna be like oh you know what it is? All right, so we got a parrot in Aspen. It's like fall-ish. It's like kind of snowy, but it's beautiful. Like nice, like it's a little bit of snow, right? We're all kind of like. I got like the hat, the like Russian like looking hat, right?
I know exactly what you're talking
And then
about.
she's got like the beanie that like it's kind of fire, but it's like got the little thing at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dog, we dressed. Nah, he does not dress. He's got fur. The parrot is just like, yo, we gotta get out of here. It's cold. And then the kid, the girl or the boy, haven't decided yet. She's wearing a tank top because she's like, I want to go back to California.
That's it.
And that's it.
With the hat, with the parrot.
And then I got the
And the
ring.
dog.
I'm glossing like this.
Flossing out.
Yep.
I like it.
Is that the dumbest? Dude, I can't think of it.
Nah, it's very extreme, and I love it.
Yeah.
I actually love it.
I love Aspen. I've never been, but I want to go.
Get on the flight.
Dumb and Dumber.
Get on the flight and go.
Yep.
Where can people find you and 5 Star Vintage on social media?
You could find.
Or do you want to just direct them to 5 Star?
Yeah, 5 Star. The number 5 Star Vintage on Twitter and Instagram, and I think YouTube too. You can follow my personal account. It's just Mopsikoff, but I'm not going to spell it. You have to figure it out.
What's the website for 5 Star?
5 Star is 5starvintage.com. The number 5, not FIVE. 5starvintage.com. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or don't. And I think that's it.
Okay. Last question for you.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. What somebody that's listening in doesn't know what their passion is, doesn't know what their purpose is, trying to figure that out. What 2 to 3 pieces of advice would you give to them trying to find it?
Trying to find their passion. Well, it's hard for me to say because I wouldn't say I found my passion. I've definitely found something I like, but I'd say trial and error. You know, if you're interested in like music or something, try the guitar, try, you know, saxophone, whatever it is. I'd say trial and error has definitely helped me. Definitely helped me find things that I've liked or don't like. And also things that I don't like if I try something and I hate it, I'm like, all right, now I know I don't want anything to do with that category. Cause it's like, for the most part, I'm not going to like anything else. So it's like, all right, let's go 180 here and let's try the other thing. So I think just testing things out, like testing the water. All right, let's try the guitar. Guitar's such a hacky fucking term, but whatever it is, podcast. Like I tried podcasting. It was whatever. It was cool. No one listened. I didn't give a shit about that. But it's just like, I've tried comedy. I like it. But it's like, do I love it where it's like, I want to do it every day? And it's like vintage clothes. Like I've done it for 5 years. I really love it. Tried that out. Love it. Still do it. It's certain things like I did lift. I was like, fucking hate it. Don't want to do lift. Like I know it's not a career, but I'm just saying test things out. You know, whatever, you know, if you're working, if you're working at Walmart, you hate customer service things. You just want to work the aisles and load Pepsi cans. Like, don't work customer service. I hate customer service. Even anywhere you work, I hate doing this specific job. All right, well, let's try the other job here. Let's try, you know, whatever it is. I don't know if that's someone's passion, but it could be. I don't know if some people working at Walmart love it, but I'm saying if they do, try something else at Walmart. Like, okay, I want to work in management now. I want to be third in line to the CEO now. It's like, all right, try things out, test the water. If it doesn't work, you hate it. You have that visceral feeling like, yo, I fucking hate this. You know when you hate something. Don't keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like if I hated doing this 5-star shit, I'm not fucking doing it. That's the one, like lift. Right when I hated it, see ya. Not doing it no more.
I'm out of here.
Not doing it in a podcast. It was started becoming like not even like a habit is a terrible word.
Like a drag?
Yeah, it was just like, fuck, I got to do it again for 30 fucking minutes and talk about I don't know what. So it was like, not doing that. Don't like it. So just stuff like that. You know, you hate tea. Stop fucking drinking tea. Like it's really that simple. Yeah, trial and error. And then maybe, what was it? Advice for people?
2 or 3 pieces of advice. People finding passion or a purpose.
Oh, purpose too. That's a fucking huge question. Well, even like donating things, like just me helping people. Like I wanted to do something for the hurricane with all that clothes that I had, but so many people were sending clothes that it was making it worse. Because people were like, we don't know what to fucking do with clothes. I was like, I'm not going to send clothes. But like if helping, because helping people is like the only thing that's like, that I've ever felt that like make me feel good. Like I've like, you know, when I, like if I ever helped, like I've seen like people in handicap and like they can't do something and I'm like, yo, you need help with this. I love that feeling. That's a good feeling. It's just doing that for like your whole life is kind of hard. Like, I don't know what you would do. I'm going off the rails here. I don't know what I'm talking about, but helping people is like the only thing that I've ever felt like, yo, this is like a very like weird, good feeling that I've never felt on anything. And even like to the smallest form of like, I send people, you know, a free item or whatever it is, like that shit, like people love that shit. Like even if it's like a little thing, like if I send an express item, like I get it to you one day because you need it, like because you're going to some party or whatever, people, even though it's such a stupid, like it's just a t-shirt, you know what I mean? It's at the smallest level, but it's like, yo, you kind of like went out of your way and you made me feel good is dope. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's a dope feeling. And if you could do that any part of your life where you could just help little things like that, like sending a t-shirt out is literally it. T-shirts don't matter as far as life goes, but like the act of me sending it one day to you, I didn't have to do that. And like, it made you feel better. So like anything little like that, even if it's, you know, like my mom dropping off tea for me or whatever it is, it's little things like that. If you could just do that, even if you work at Walmart or you work at some job that you hate, even if it's little things like that, you could do at Walmart. Like, I just helped the pregnant lady take her stuff to the car. I didn't have to do that, but it made me feel good. That could make your whole job better.
Yeah.
You know, like you could fucking hate working at Walmart, but I have to because I have to make ends meet and I have a kid. But like, it's the same shit I was saying with basketball. When I was like on the bench, I was like, yo, I'm about to make this the best I can make it. It sucks that I'm not playing, but I'm about to make it the best. So it's like, if I work at Walmart, I hate it, but I have to do it. I'm going to do little things like that because that's going to help. That helps me. I feel good and you feel good. And so it's like, it's a win-win. So even if you don't have a purpose, right? Because not everybody has a purpose. I don't think I have a purpose yet. Doing little shit like that is like part of your purpose, I feel like, as a human, to be nice. Does that make sense? Yeah. So even if you don't have a purpose, I'd say just being nice, being helpful is a purpose. Like, that's our purpose. Everybody should be doing that. If people don't, it fucking sucks. And people aren't empathetic. And I feel like that should be the purpose, to be nice. You could
be a good person.
Just be a good person. Be nice. Not all the time. Don't be nice everywhere you go. But if you see someone struggling, help them out. That helps you. That helps me. We're good. We're good to go.
It's good energy into the world.
Yep. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all she wrote.
I'm fucking dying of thirst here.
Steve, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Did we shake hands?
We can shake hands.
All right, well.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks.
We'll catch you guys next time.
All right, now.
Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. If you could leave a 1-sentence review in the comment section below about what you'd like to see in the future, that would be awesome. And if you really want to make me happy, please subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date when Bobbbaaaay drops a new video. We'll catch you guys next time.